Why was it important for you to come here today, and what message do you plan to give to the people today?
I mean, bottom line, this is our government, right? It doesn't matter that we didn't support Donald Trump. It doesn't matter that one election passed or another. The bottom line is that the Constitution, democracy, this nation, it all belongs to the people. And so it is not only our right, but our duty to call the question. Donald Trump is very clearly trying to death by 1,000 paper cuts, our protections, the Constitution, democracy. I mean, you go on. And so, again, I find it's our duty. I'm glad to see that many agree with me.
What are the main issues that you focus on at Popular Democracy, and what are you wanting the people to really stand up against under this new administration?
Yeah, well, Popular Democracy is a network of 50 organizations across the country who knock on doors 365 days a year. And the message that we have is that there are 93 weeks until midterm elections. The Congress is held on by the skin of its teeth. And we have the power to not only upend the worst of Donald Trump, but we have the power to course correct. So we are urging people we're already on doors, knocking on doors, telling folks, we have to vote. 90 million stayed home. 90 million cannot stay home next time. There's also state races that are going to show the tone and tenor of what our nation is willing to accept. And finally, and this may get a little wonky for some listeners, but you know, we are in fact fighting for what is at the core and what is acceptable from our government. We are pulling the Overton window back towards justice, back towards a government that centers people over capital. Right now we know that folks like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, they've captured our government. I mean, there's no other way to describe it when one tweet can undo elected officials' plans, and we, the people, have to stop it.
A lot of criticism has come against the Democrats for what some people feel was not fighting hard enough to stand up against fascism. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think that we, the people, we should not be focused on the left or the right. For me, I'm from the bottom. And what I'm trying to do is lift people who are at the margins to bring them to the center of policy making. When I hear both Democrats and Republicans talking about deporting millions of people and not caring about human decency, their children who are documented citizens, or even just the Constitution, then that's not a left or right issue. When I hear Donald Trump say that he's going to dismantle the Department of Education, that's not left, that's not right, that's not Democrat, that's Republican, that's us. And so it is so, one of the things that we as a community experience is that they try to put us in a box, but we reject it. I mean, bottom line, I am here for maybe the same reason so many are. My children, I believe in this country, I believe in freedom, and I believe that I have a right to determine what happens to me and my body, just like a man does. And I'm willing to fight for it, so.
Last question. What do you have to say to people who have already kind of felt like they've given up, they're hopeless? I mean, we've just heard that on Tuesday, Trump is planning to send hundreds of agents into Chicago to round people up. How do you have hope at a time like this?
I know that organizing has got us out of this kind of situation. This isn't new. Every single time Black people gained political power in this country, we have experienced a clapback. Think about the moment of emancipation and Reconstruction. And then after 12 years, what happens? A deal gets cut between the party of Lincoln and the party of Dixie. And they strike a deal that ends up bringing us 100 years of Jim Crow. Think about what happens after the Civil Rights Movement, where we rise up and we demand rights. And what happens? The war on drugs, the war on our communities, the racism that resurges under Reagan, under Bush, and frankly, even under Bill Clinton. So every single time we reach for power, right? Status quo tries to pull it back. It does not escape me that this country was built and founded on the idea of freedom, and then they hardwired it to only exist for land-owning white men, and we've been pulling it ever since. And that is not going to stop, and I'm here for it, so.